Pokemon received through in-game trades have always been weird. With forced nicknames and boosted EXP, they can help steamroll your way through the game. But I was wondering, could one Pokemon be obtained from these trades more than any other? So I counted every single in-game trade across the series and found out that yes, there is a winner. And it's honestly surprising how close this race ended up being. Let's kick things off with Pokemon Red and Blue. Tucked away on Route 2, you can get Marcel the Mr. Mime for an Abra. In one of the underground paths, you can trade a male Nidoran for a female one nicknamed Spot. Down in Vermilion City, you can swap a Spearow for a Farfetch called Dux. If you skip that earlier Nidoran, fret not, for you can trade a Nidorino for Terry the Nidorina. By taking a Poliwhirl back to Cerulean, Lola the Jinx can join your team. And how could I be so late to mention Marc? Look at him. That's 100% worth a Slowbro. Additionally, these in-game trades are the only way to obtain Farfetch'd, Jinx, and Lickitung in Red and Blue. All these years later, and I'm still fascinated that they were locked behind this mechanic. Oh, but there are 3 more trades that I've neglected to mention that are all on Cinnabar Island. And I think they're all kind of worthless, especially a Raichu for an Electrode so late in the game. Though its name Doris is a 10 out of 10. Kriggles for Tangela is pretty good too, but Sailor the Seal? You know, maybe that one is worth a Ponyta after all. Every Pokemon here will start off with a rank of 1. Each time they are received as a trade, their ranks will increase. But Gen 1 isn't finished just yet. Yellow has plenty of new in-game trades exclusive to it. The only repeater is Mr. Mime. Even though it's named Miles now, any received Pokemon that's the same in a Generation's 3rd version, so like Yellow or Platinum, won't be getting an additional rank. It doesn't matter that you're offering a Clefairy now. With that being said, you can trade a Tangela for Spike the Parasect, a Lickitung for Gurio the Dugtrio, and a Cubone for Ricky the Machoke. What's fun about this Machoke though, is that it'll evolve right when you receive it. So for any trade evolutions, I'm going to give a point to both the pre-evolution and the evolution. So welcome to the leaderboards too, Machamp. And the 3 Pokemon Lab trades are completely different. We can now get Buffy the Rhydon, Suzanne the Dewgong, and Sticky the Muck. I don't know, if you worked for a Kangaskhan by this point, that is not worth it. But we've already got a crowded group of Pokemon here, so who's going to be the first to take a lead? Fun little fact about Gold and Silver for you, this is the first time in-game trades bear the name of their original trainer. Like, look at Rocky the Onyx here. You got simple naming taste, Kyle. I respect your name more than Rocky's. Later on in Goldenrod, we can offer a Drowsy for Muscle the Machop. Isn't she a beauty? Actually, the majority of trades from here on out have set genders for their Pokemon. Rocky was a boy, Muscle is a girl, and then Volty the Voltorb has an unknown gender. There's way more non-legendary Pokemon with this designation than I've remembered. Near the main game's end, you can trade away a Dragonair for Don the Rhydon, which makes Rhydon our first rank 2. Didn't think you'd be the first to take a step up in our leaderboards, but I'm not complaining. And once you're in Kanto, you can get Arrowy the Aerodactyl for a Chansey, which Chansey is only a 1% encounter, so have fun with that. And in Pewter City, you can hand off a Gloom for Runny the Rapidash. Interestingly, Crystal version has a few different trades. The Blackthorn trade grants you Doris the Dodrio instead, and she's guaranteed to be holding a Smoke Ball. The Pewter City one is different too, now being your Haunter for Paul the Xatu. Paul! Lastly, there's one additional trade in Crystal at the Kanto Power Plant, where you can trade a Dugtrio for Maggie the Magneton. Maggie will always come holding a Metal Coat, and it's unimportant, but its OT's name is Forest. I just find that funny. Surprisingly, Ruby and Sapphire have very few in-game trades. Before the first gym, you can get Mocket the Makihita for a Slack Off, and then you don't have any other in-game trade until Fort Tree City. What's even worse is that you need a Pikachu to obtain Skidit the Skitty, and you need to venture way past the 6th gym to catch that yellow rat. One of the worst trades of all time is in Pacifidlog. Lane here would like a Blossom for her Corsola. Corso, I'm sorry, but raising up a Blossom for you when I can just use a Super Rod nearby, yeah, that's not happening. But if you would get all 3 of these trades, they all have a contest stat that's boosted by 30. Mocket's category is tough, Skidit's is cute, and Corso's is beauty. If you're trying to get a boost to help complete Pokemon contests, these guys are a great addition. It's actually applicable to all the Gen 3 in-game trades. Speaking of which, Emerald's trades are completely different. And for whatever reason, you're gonna need a lot of rare encounters. Rustborough's trade is now a 4% Ralts for a Seedot nicknamed Dots. Fortree is a 1% Volbeat for Pluses the Plusle, a fantastic name for a Pokemon that's otherwise a 2% encounter. And the Pacific Log trade is now a Bagon for a horsey called Seesaw. This one's very rough since you can't catch a Bagon without unlocking the Waterfall HM, which isn't usable until after beating the final gym. Yet there's one more trade added in Emerald located at the Battle Frontier. Here you can offer up a Skitty for your Meow Wow the Meowth. It's the only way to get Meowth in Emerald without relying on other games. With that in mind, FireRed and LeafGreen see every in-game trade from Red and Blue returning, giving them all an inflated bump up into rank 2. What I find funny though is that all their nicknames are different except for one Pokemon. Marc, I never doubted you. Although I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. There are technically 2 new trades exclusive to LeafGreen. Those would be for Mr. Nido the Nidoran and Nino the Nidorino. See, in Fire Red, you'd get their female counterparts, which comes from both Red and Blue. However, in the original Japanese releases of Red and Green, you're doing that first stage trade for a Nidoran male, cutely nicknamed Chappie. I find it so fascinating that the remakes reference the regional differences in this original trade by making them version exclusive. But what does Marc think? Thank you, Marc. Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum all share the same trades, no tweaks between the 3. In the early game, you can receive an Abra known as Kaza by trading away a Machop. Over in Eterna, giving this kid a Weasel will grant you Cherap the Chatot. Cherap notably has all 5 of its contest stats raised by 20, so she's destined to shine in Heart Home City. Up in Snowpoint though, is easily the most infamous in-game trade of all time. Mindy here is vile. All she wants is a Medicham. In return, she slaps the Everstone onto her Haunter, pawns Gasper over to us like we're a joke. So many of us fell victim to the idea of a powerful Gengar because of this cruel NPC. Do you have no shame, Mindy? No shame at all? The final trade in Sinnoh, though, is one of my all-time favorites. On this small island in the Battle Zone, you'll meet this man simply known as the Meister. He's a lover of languages and just so happens to know how to unlock foreign data entries in your Pokedex. This was a feature Diamond and Pearl introduced, where select Pokemon could have their Dex entries written in a different language. This was definitely incentivized by Wi-Fi trading in the GTS, but let me circle back to the Meister's trade. Of all Pokemon, he'll offer you his measly Magikarp nicknamed Fappa for your Finneon. Fappa, though, has a language origin of German. He's from the Meister's homeland after all, with Meister being German for master. Und wenn du das Spiel auf Deutsch spielst, konosaka wa Nihon kara desu. Worst of all, Fappa can actually get you stuck on Route 226. If Finneon is the only Pokemon in your party that can learn Surf, and none of your other team members have Fly or Teleport, you'll have no easy way of leaving the island after trading Finneon away. Yes, you can fish for wild Pokemon or level up Fappa into Gyarados. However, if you arrived here without enough rare candies to evolve Fappa, somehow never picked up a fishing rod, and traded over a Finneon from a different game specifically for this in-game trade, you can never leave. 100% soft locked. Saving the game here would mean you're only going to be chatting with the Meister until your DS battery dies out. So much of interest caused by one Magikarp, who's still only in rank 1. Returning to Johto, HeartGold and SoulSilver bring back trades from the originals, but it's a lineup of trades that are more akin to Crystal. All 6 of these Pokemon rise to rank 2, with Voltorb being the only one with a different nickname. It's now Billy, lining up with its Japanese nickname. And there are 4 additional trades with noteworthy NPCs in the late game. Hoenn champion Stephen Stone sits around Silphco wishing for his own fortress. In return, he'll give you a Beldum called Iron, who'll be holding a Dawnstone. Steven really is a weird little rock collector, isn't he? And after beating the Pewter Gym, Brock will be in Diglett Cave on Saturday evenings. He's had trouble finding a Bonsly and will trade you Hornlet the Rhyhorn for one. She was actually raised from an egg by Brock, knowing the egg move Thunderfang. Lieutenant Surge also has a trade proposal for us. He has a French Pikachu nicknamed Volty, wanting to trade it for any Pikachu you'd come across. But why is Volty French? If it feels off, that's because it should. In every other translation of the game, this Pikachu is an English language one. Surge is the Lightning American after all. This is definitely a reference to that, unfortunately lost in the English translation. Unless he's actually from like Quebec, but look at him. I don't think so. Lastly, after rematching her, Jasmine wants to trade you her Steelix Rusty. Rusty must be very dear to Jasmine, considering she competed with him in Sinnoh region contests. And she's willing to part with him for any Pokemon. The first time this happens in the series. Sure, the game blocks a few Pokemon from being given to her, like the Spiky Ear Pichu or Skyform Shaman, but I love this trade. Jasmine is still grateful for us helping out with Amphi, and this trade is another gesture of her care and respect. We still don't have any breakaway winner just yet, but someone's bound to get the edge soon, right? Let's see what Black and White can offer us. Big thing to note, Pokemon received from trades now have set levels. Previously, whatever the level of the Pokemon you traded away was, would also be the level of the Pokemon you received. So the game's first trade in Nacrene City will be level 15, guaranteed. What's not guaranteed though is the Pokemon you'll get. It's version exclusive, so in Black, you can trade a Cottonee for Lil the Petalil, and in White, it's the opposite, where you receive Fluffy the Cottonee. You can actually battle against the Pokemon you gave them later on too. And the next trade is version exclusive and battleable as well. You'll offer a Minccino in either version, but the Basculin form you'll get in return will be different. Black's trade is the red stripe, and White has the blue stripe. The nicknames also might be the best of all time. Red Eye and Blue Eye, yeah, no notes. On Route 7, Manny the Hiker wants a Boldore for his Emolga, Mini Pete. Though this trade basically means we handed this guy a Gigalith. Just remember that for a little bit later. In the post-game, we can exchange a Ditto for Eeks the Rotom from Lillian, and in Undella Town during the summer, Andrew here is feeling out of shape and wants a Cinccino to help him get back into exercising. In return, we get Gorge the Munchlax, who's holding leftovers and has the ability Thick Fat. Ain't that rubbing salt in the wound? My last tidbit here is that every Pokemon you received will have a perfect IV, which becomes a consistent trend up through Gen 7. But that doesn't help that they're all still stuck in rank 1. The sequels though... Some of Black 2 and White 2's in-game trades feel eerily similar. The first trade is a good example. Black 2's is for Petulia the Petalil, and White 2's is for Fluffy the Cottonee. Yep, 2 different Cottonee, identical nicknames. Hey, at least they get rank 2. Feels like sequel robbery, but I'll allow it. Same applies to Lillian. Once more, she wants a Ditto for a Rotom, but this guy's name is now Bucky. God, nicknames are so freaking funny, man. Manny returns too, 2 years later, wanting an Emolga for his Gigalith. Notice how it lacks a nickname? It's supposed to be the Boldore you gave him back in the original Black and White, which is a lovely little detail. A new trade takes place in Humalao, where passing along a Mantine gets you Tangles the Tangrowth, making for a perfect counter against the water-type gym here. And then in the post-game, this girl requests an Excadrill for her Ambipom called Ambidexter. She'll battle with the Excadrill you gave her, and then right afterwards, she has a second trade. You can receive Beardy the Alakazam by giving her a Hippowdon. She'll then challenge you with a Sandstorm team centered around it. But that's only the tip of the iceberg for this game's trades. After picking up the X-Transceiver dubbed the dropped item, you'll occasionally chat with Curtis if you play as the girl, or Yancey if you're the boy. Since they're both secretly celebrity idols constantly working in foreign regions all the time, it takes a bunch of calls until they have the free time to meet up with you. Each time after riding the Ferris wheel with them, they'll offer to trade you a Pokemon they met on their travels outside of Unova. They don't care which of your Pokemon they get in return, hinting towards them maybe having a crush on the player. All the Pokemon that they'll trade you will have their hidden abilities, and each holds a rare item from the region they were likely caught in. This collection is crazy, and some trades are exclusive to either Curtis or Yancey. But for the purposes of our rankings, I'll note that the Meowth from Yancey bumps it into rank 2, and the Rhyhorn both of them trade away reaches rank 2 as well. We've been stuck with nothing passing rank 2 for the longest time. Thankfully, the 3D games will change that. Here we go, everybody. X and Y will finally have a Pokemon reach rank 3. Oh boy, who could it be? I really wonder who. Farfetch'd. It's Quackland the Farfetch'd right at the beginning of the game. And this one lacks a leak held item, so I'd rather just use Bunnelby. Once you're in Silas City, this trainer will trade you Thumper, the Steelix, for a Love Disc of all things. Strange request, my guy, but Steelix now rises into rank 2. The last main trade doesn't happen until Snowbell City, where we can give this woman a Jigglypuff for a Bisharp, fittingly called Pierce. And there are a couple of secret trades that are off the beaten path. Across Kalos in these 6 different hotels, you'll randomly encounter this hiker. He's seemingly from Kanto and obsessed with Magikarp. So much so that after talking to him for a few days, he'll trade you a special Magikarp for a Gyarados. You better seize the day with Carpe Diem here. He's got perfect IVs in attack and special attack. Similarly, another rotating hotel NPC is this maid. She likely works for Mr. Backlot in the Sinnoh region, and that's maybe where the Eevee she'll trade you comes from. She doesn't care what she gets in return. But Stevie the Eevee? Shut up, that's too cute. Our rival Shauna also has a really cool trade for us first thing after beating the Pokemon League. She apparently bred her starter Pokemon, so you'll receive whichever Kalos starter yours would be super effective against. That means Chester the Chespin, Kinnikins the Fennekin, and Frobel the Froakie all enter rank 1. These trades where you can part with any Pokemon of your choosing feel more like gifts than trades. Heck, many of you said so in my gift Pokemon video. But we have one last trade like that here in Kalos. Heading back to the cafe where we first met Champion Diantha, she'll be there ready to trade you a Ralts. Unnicknamed, this Ralts will come holding the Gardevoir, making this trade the only way to get this Megastone. With Ralts safely reaching rank 2, I'm starting to get overwhelmed with the sheer amount of Pokemon received in in-game trades. Can we just have one low-key game for once? Yeah, Oras is so low-key, guys. These trades are literally the same as Ruby and Sapphire. Yes, there are minimal changes, like the skinny trade requiring a Spinda instead of Pikachu, and these guys having some perfect IVs, but Mockit, Skidit, and Corso all enter rank 2. This was a needed break, but no stopping now. Let's keep going. Sun and Moon feel really fresh in my eyes. There's constant in-game trades from start to finish. Literally the last trade in this game is a Beware for Tallow the Talonflame. That's just awesome. There's plenty of straightforward trades too, like giving away a Zubat for this Poliwhirl nicknamed Whirly. It finally feels like the game design of trades is actively on your side again. You just came through Diglett's tunnel, where Zubat has a 70% chance of being encountered. The stone you need to evolve Whirly is easily purchasable in Coney Coney City, and it's the perfect typing to give you an edge over Olivia. Similar design can be clearly seen with receiving Bouncy the Bounce Sweep for the common Lillipup before Lana's trial. Though I do find it odd that, come Seafolk Village, you can also trade for a Steenie. The Gramble trade for Stena here is whatever, it's just odd to me that you can receive two different members of the same evolutionary family again. We even have the return of an in-game trade evolution. It's been a hot minute since the Machamp in Yellow. In exchange for a Haunter that will certainly become a Gengar, you'll receive Velar the Alolan Graveler that immediately evolves into an Alolan Golem. There's also a Pancham trade for Happiny. No, its name is literally Happiny. I've got nothing to say about this one. However, the very first trade in the game is worth noting because we have another promotion into rank 3. By trading this Gorilla Spearow, you can obtain Macho. He's just a Machop missing one letter. A worthy phonetic sacrifice to be tied at the top of our leaderboards. I'm glad about this. Farfetch was getting way too cozy all ahead by itself. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon then shake things up with entirely new Pokemon being received. Several trainers share the same names and locations as the other Alola games, but you're receiving entirely different Pokemon. Kihei still wants a Lillipup, but now you'll get Noi Noi the Noibat. Beware is for Professor the Tauros, what a name. Spearow's traded over for a Hawlucha nicknamed Cha, and Granbull yields you Soul, a West Sea Shellos. This is the only way to obtain a West Sea Shellos in the Alola games, boosting the pink form alone into rank 2. Still, the Hiker is still offering trade evolutions, but now you'll both trade a Phantom, and each leave with a Trevenant. So be kinda tump if you please. 2 entirely new trades remain. In Royal Avenue, you can swap a Tentacool for Babo the Barboach, and just north on Route 8, Arbo the Arbok can be yours for a Trumbeak. Babo, Arbo. Babo, Arbo. I swear, they've gotta be related somehow. I love how in-game trades work in the Let's Go games. No trades from previous Kanto titles return, and they're now exchanges of a Cantonian form for the Alolan counterpart. You can do these trades repeatedly, with none of them having nicknames, and there's a chance they could be shiny too. So yes, I'm happy my Rattata is part Dark-type now. And trades happen pretty regularly too. Rattata was in Cerulean, Geodude is in Vermilion, Diglett in Lavender Town, so on and so forth. It goes all the way to the Pokemon League, where Alolan Executor awaits. And some trades are version exclusive too. In Let's Go Pikachu, Alolan Sandshrew and Alolan Grimer can be obtained, while Let's Go Eevee is how you meet Alolan Vulpix and Alolan Meowth. Now, because this Meowth is still a Meowth, same Pokedex number, still the Scratch Cat Pokemon, I'm going to count it alongside Emerald's Meow Wow and the Meowth you get from Yancey. Apologies if regional variants bug you, but that's what I'm rolling with. This pushes Meowth up into rank 3, giving it a seat at the big kids table. Our Switch era trades are just getting started, and things are about to get quite crazy. For Sword and Shield, let's rank these from bottom to top. I think it'll be easier to follow. Our first trade in Motostoke is our Bunnelby for Cheekers the Squubbit. The nicknames of this game might be the best overall. Like, the late game trade in Winden is a Frostmoth for a Duraludon named, of all things, Linear. Kapoor, I feel like this is an art joke that's gone way over my head. There are some version exclusive trades too. In Stow on Side, the environmentally thematic Maractus is what's desired, and Sword grants you back Fringe the Hatena, while Shield makes it Peepers the Impidimp. I can't, these are too good. Similarly, this guy operating an ice cream stand wants a Vanillish. I assume he's restocking, but that's how you get either Redos the Throw or Blue Bop. This sock's nickname is literally baby mumbling. Like Blue Bop? Like they had so much fun coming up with these. Hey, we even have a baby swap. In Hammerlock, you can trade a Toxel for Snips the Togepi, bumping Togepi into rank 2. And here come our rank 3s. At the Hulberry Market, you can give this trainer a Minccino for a Cottony, bearing the adorable nickname Candy Floss. Delicious. And on the other side of the region, you can give this Team Yell member your Obstagoon for a Mr. Mime. Notably, Mimo is a Cantonian Mr. Mime. Glad I remembered that, because I nearly forgot about the Unova Yamask trade. It's a straightforward Galarian for Unovan trade. Happy to see him join the fray. But there's another regional form trade in a different stadium. It's a Galarian Meowth for a Cantonian one, meaning Meowth is our first Pokemon to break into rank 4. It's taken a late, unexpected lead. Yet the Isle of Armor DLC throws everything out of whack, and it's all thanks to Regina. This NPC randomly shows up in different parts of the Isle, wanting to trade Pokemon for an opposite regional variant. All of her Pokemon come without nicknames, know an egg move, and have their hidden ability, wheezing, sometimes withstanding, it's weird. This grants several Pokemon rank 1, Alolan Executor and Marowak rank 2, Corsola a shocking rank 3, and Farfetch the coveted rank 4. But oddly, Mr. Mime also sneaks into rank 4. This trait is completely different than the one in Spikemuth. So 2 ranks in one game. Yeah, that's a huge upset, but it also applies to Meowth. This one is even more similar to the base game trade, but for both Meowth and Mr. Mime, they're getting by on a crazy technicality that I just have to count, leaving Meowth to stand above the rest at rank 5. Wow, Sword and Shield were a doozy. Thankfully, the next thing we have to cover is a joke. Hi, this is BDSP. We repeat practically everything from the originals, even our in-game trades. They're nearly identical. But hey, we have set levels now. It's a completely different vibe. These 3 can slide into rank 2, while Fappa migrates to rank 3 instead. And since there's no in-game trades in Legends Arceus, this might be the most pathetic rank up of the whole video. Who's to say? Scarlet and Violet start off pretty simple. We can trade a Flabébé and Cortando for a Snom nicknamed Snows-a-Lot. Fantastic nickname, my guy. Then in Cascarafa, we have a Wooper regional trade. We trade away the Paldean form, so get ready for the oddest nickname ever in return. Manchester. Well buddy, Man United or Man City. Pick one and commit for life. Lastly, for the base game, we have an exchange of our Pinsirchin for a Haunter. Look, we've been hurt before, we don't have to do this again. Oh, it actually evolved. Yeah, this trade is for a genuine Gengar. We finally have gotten one. Hauntikins, I'm thrilled this means Gengar can have a rank 1, but it still upsets my soul it can't join Haunter in rank 3. And then the Indigo Disc DLC makes this an actual nightmare. In Blueberry Academy's League Club room, you can invite over special coaches. These consist of friends, gym leaders, teachers, and others you can chat with, rematch, and eventually trade Pokemon with. You can trade over any Pokemon that has your OT and isn't shiny or quote-unquote special. And all received Pokemon have the special partner ribbon, highlighting that they were once partners with another great trainer. After completing 10 of these trades, you'll be able to challenge Cyrano to a double battle. Upon defeat, he offers to trade you a special shiny Blitzel. In the comments of my gift Pokemon video, tons of you thought this was a straight up gift, but it's indeed a trade. Blitzel joins rank 1 alongside these Pokemon. Please bear with me. Combee Synflora, Magnemite Veluza, Dunsparce, Greavard, Flittle, Citadel, Tinkaton, Artibex, Glimmet, Palmo, Gulpin, Gimmighoul, Rockruff, Meditite, Hatchram, Marini, Magby, Skarmory, Snubbull, Poltergeist, and Applin. Rank 2 sees the likes of Wooper getting double up treatment from Rika's trade, as well as Drayton's Duraludon, Nemona's Paldean Tauros, Arvin's Squavit, and Penny's Eevee. And lastly, Language Teacher Salvatore trades us an Alolan Meowth. With Meowth now reaching rank 6, I'm starting to wonder if allowing regional variants is straight up unfair. But let's see what ZA offers before I contemplate any rule changes. Did you know Legends ZA is the only game where an in-game trade is required to beat the story? Yeah, you're realizing who it is. You know him, you love him, quite possibly the most beloved in-game trade of all time, Boys the Heracross. Or Bois. I mean, it's probably supposed to be the French word for wood or timber, but come on, look at this boy. Roided out with perfect IVs in HP, speed, and attack. He's a monster. He's the GOAT. I don't even remember having a Pikachu. Blah has been here all along. Less excitingly, you can trade the school kid in Abra for Riolu the Riolu. We also have a side quest that has us swap a regular Slowpoke for a spicy Galarian one, and in a similar light, another side quest rewards us with a trade between Raichu. We end up leaving with Fluffy the Alolan Raichu, cementing Raichu's place in rank 2. Lastly, a side quest in the Mega Dimension DLC has us trade Porygon with this NPC. Elias was holding the upgrade when traded to us, forcing it to smooth out its edges as a Porygon 2. This makes Porygon and its evolution enter rank 1 as our final in-game trade. So how'd things wrap up? Our final rankings have Meowth comfortably ahead in rank 6. 4 times thanks to its Kanto form, and twice for its Alolan variant. Though for a Gen 1 Pokemon, I'm pleasantly surprised that Meowth is only a trade in Kanto once. But now I'm also questioning if the Alolan form should count separately. After all, 3 of these trades are a Meowth for a Meowth. Adjusting this would make Cantonian Meowth tied at rank 4 with Mr. Mime and Farfetch'd. Personally, I'll still keep Meowth at rank 6, since I find a 3-way tie to be a little underwhelming, and I like including regional variants. But I still feel like I'm missing something. Like, trades are a 2-way street, but who would also be crazy enough to count every single Pokemon that you're trading away? Okay, I'll keep these relatively brief. These are requested once, these twice, and sought after 3 times, Meowth, Ponyta, Pikachu, and Haunter. And I'll jump to the most requested Pokemon. Boringly, it's any Pokemon. Like, I counted, and if my math's right, this happens a total of 51 times. And if you want to trade away a Mareep every time, you're free to do so. So let's reconsider this as Pokemon specifically requested by trainers. That leaves us with a 3-way tie for rank 4. First up, Abra. It's requested for a Mr. Mime in Red and Blue and its Gen 3 remakes, traded for a Machop in Crystal only, and given for a Riolu in ZA. Spearow is similar. Twice in Vermilion City for a Farfetch'd, and then twice in Alola 2. The Sun and Moon trade nets you Machop, while in the Ultra games, it's for Hawlucha. Rounding out this pool of all Pokemon is Raichu. It's asked for in every Kanto game, giving you Electrode in 2 and its Alolan form in Let's Go. And then once again, it's traded for its Alolan form in ZA. What a trio. So there we have it, the definitive answer to which Pokemon is traded the most and requested the most. A whirlwind of a collection, but now I ask you, which of these in-game trades are the most memorable? Both the good ones and the bad ones. Was there one that carried your team through a playthrough, or are any underrated in your opinion? Or did any nickname really stand out to you? I mean, Marc really wants to know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Now it's time to ponder, why are there so many Meowth forms? Too many trades between the 3 of them. But that means we're gonna get a 4th regional form soon, aren't we?